பாரதிய வித்யா பவன் சார்பில் கலாச்சார விழா 2021 அண்மையில் சென்னை மயிலாப்பூரில் உள்ள பாரதிய வித்யா பவன் அரங்கத்தில் வெகு விமர்சையாக நடந்தேறியது. பிரபல கலைஞர்கள் பங்கு பெறும் நிகழ்ச்சிகள் இந்த கலாச்சார விழாவில் டிசம்பர் 15ஆம் தேதி வரை நாள்தோறும் நடைபெறும். இவ்விழாவின் தொடக்கத்தில் சேம்பனார் கோவில் எஸ்.ஆர்.ஜி. மோகன்தாஸ் குழுவினரின் நாதஸ்வர இசையுடன் மங்களகரமாக துவங்கியது. இவ்விழாவின் தலைமை விருந்தினராக மேதகு தமிழக ஆளுநர் ஆர்.என். ரவி அவர்கள் வந்திருந்த விழாவினை குத்துவிளக்கை ஏற்றி துவக்கி வைத்தார். மேலும் விழாவின் சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்களாக டாஃபே நிறுவனத்தின் தலைவர் மல்லிகா ஸ்ரீனிவாசன், சரித்திர ஆய்வாளர் வி. ஸ்ரீராம், முனைவர் நல்லி குப்புசாமி, பவன் சென்னை கேந்திராவின் இயக்குநர் கே.என். ராமசாமி, பவன் சென்னை கேந்திராவின் சேர்மன் என். ரவி ஆகியோர் கலந்து கொண்டு விழாவினை சிறப்பித்தார்கள். பாரதிய வித்யா பவன் உருவாவதற்கு காரணமாக இருந்த எஸ். அனந்த ராமகிருஷ்ணன் திருவுருவப் படம் மேதகு தமிழக ஆளுநர் அவர்களின் பொற்கரத்தால் திறந்து வைக்கப்பட்டது.
I extend you all a warm welcome. This event makes the commencing of the music season of the city. We are all very much beholden to the august presence of the Honorable Governor Sri R.N. Ravi. Perhaps it is the first ever cultural event he attends in the city. He has been a good negotiator, as evidenced by the Nagaland Accord, which was sensitive and critical. I welcome him with due respect. We are happy to have our Mrs. Mallika Srinivasan, an eminent entrepreneur coming from a celebrated industrial host in Tamil Nadu. She has earned many laurels in the fields of business and corporate social responsibility. She is also a patron of arts, culture and education. I welcome her with all warmth. It is our pleasure to receive historian and art critic. He is a multifaceted personality, art being his passion. He writes on several subjects covering art, history and music. He has, to his credit, well-received books, including the one on the legend Semmangudi Srinivasa Iyer. I extend him a warm welcome. The program the Governor inaugurates today runs up to December 15th. We have got up lively concerts. I welcome every one of them. Thank you once again. Thank you one and all.
Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is delighted that His Excellency the Governor is inaugurating this year's cultural festival. He has recently assumed charge as Governor, and his presence here in possibly his first cultural event provides a great start to our festival. In our talk with him, when we invited him to this event, he indicated a keen desire to immerse himself in the cultural milieu of the state. Your Excellency, the winter music season in Chennai is a festival with few parallels in the world of music. This is a tradition that has been recognized by UNESCO, which has declared Chennai as a creative city for music. The Bhavan's auditorium and other sabhas in the city would offer an almost unlimited opportunity for immersion into the musical milieu. when the Bhavan's founder, Kolapati K.M. Munshi, expressed his desire to start a Kendra in Chennai, Sri Anantaramakrishnan readily offered the current premises that he had acquired for some other purpose. It is in token of our gratitude that we are unveiling his portrait that will adorn the entrance of this auditorium. Now, coming to the festival itself, the program has been put together with the usual meticulous care by Sri K.N. Ramaswamy, and we have over 40 artists participating in the 21-day festival. They include well-established great senior artists as well as highly talented younger artists knocking at the door of greatness. For supporting this festival, we are thankful to the South Zone Cultural Center based in Thiruvarur that is headed by the Honorable Governor. Let me once again express our grateful thanks to His Excellency the Governor for inaugurating this festival.
மேதகு தமிழக ஆளுநர் ஆர்.என். ரவி அவர்கள் சிறப்புரை ஆற்றி விழாவினை வாழ்த்தி பேசினார்.
I am delighted to be part of this all-famous Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan's Cultural Festival 2021, which is beginning today. We are all aware of the fact that Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan came into existence in 1938. And since then, it has been on an eternal pilgrimage to preserve and propagate India's rich cultural and spiritual heritage. It has been doing yeoman service in nation building, known for its high standards of teaching and learning. It has been a magnet for aspiring students all over the country and even beyond. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan has an interesting and painful background which every Indian must not forget ever. The British were all out to destroy India. Their rule was not merely to politically subjugate and economically exploit this country, but they tried their best to kill the sense of selfhood of India, the sense of Swa, which was embedded in the life of every common, ordinary Indian through centuries of their daily rites and rituals, cultural practices. While the political movement for the freedom would continue, how do you preserve the cultural and spiritual heritage of India, which is the soul of India? And in this backdrop, Sri K. Munshi, encouraged by Mahatma Gandhi. K. Munshi was a great son of India, a great patriot, a renowned freedom fighter, accomplished writer, and a visionary. He conceived of an system, education system, and a network of it, which based on what the Rig Vedic Richa says, Anuvadra Kratavo Yantu Vishwada. Let the noble thought from all over the world come. With that, he conceived this Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, which would welcome the modern knowledge, the knowledge of modern science and technology, at the same time equip our boys and girls with the values of our culture and spiritual heritage. And today it has been doing with great success, with several hundred institutions spread across the country and beyond. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan has been doing a great job. While Sri K. Munshi conceived this idea, but in Chennai, it took another great man, Sri S. Anantaramakrishnan, a well-known philanthropist, to make it happen here in Chennai. He gave this property, and that's how the Bhavan emerged here. And it is only befitting that today we have paid our heartfelt gratitude to Sri S. Anant Ramakrishnan by unveiling his portrait. It will be a source of inspirations for our people, for our youth, and an encouragement for potential philanthropists. I would like to conclude my talk with a note of caution. Friends, the global pandemic is not yet over. It has a tendency to come again and again. And some countries, the advanced countries in the world, are facing the brunt of it. Here in India, thanks to the visionary and dynamic leadership of the Prime Minister, that we are in a relatively much better position than many countries, even the advanced countries. There is no shortage of vaccine, and there is an elaborate and efficient vaccination infrastructure on the ground. Those who have not received the second dose, I would urge them to come forward, take it, and make this country safe from COVID. Let us not lower our guard on COVID protocol, and let us celebrate the music festival in all its glory and with all the jest at our command, observing COVID protocol. My warm greetings to all the artists, participants, and organizers. I wish them all the best. Nandri, Vanakkam, Valaga Tamil, Jai Hind.
மற்ற சிறப்பு விருந்தினர்களும் விழாவினை வாழ்த்தி பேசினார்கள்.
It's an honor for me to be here today to offer felicitations on the occasion of the inaugural of the Bhavan's Cultural Festival 2021 and the commemoration of my illustrious grandfather, Sri S. Anant Ramakrishnan's contribution to the establishment of this iconic institution at Chennai. The Bharati Vidya Bhavan, established under the visionary leadership of the Venerable Sri K.M. Munshi, encapsulates all that is rich and unique in our culture, values, tradition, and philosophies. Mahaperiva of Kanchipuram directed Munshiji to the philanthropic businessman Anant Ramakrishnan. The Bhavan's Chennai Center was born in the spiritual heart of the city. These hallowed halls here at Chennai have been host to thousands of artists, intellectuals, seers, thinkers, saints, and young builders of a new India. Thanks to these two men, both great nation builders, both proud practitioners of the Indian way of life, who cherished India's tradition, cultural heritage, ancient wisdom, and values, and celebrated her cultural heritage. On this occasion, I pay my sincere homage to these two leaders who gave us this iconic center of learning and culture in Chennai. And I might add that as a proud alumnus of this institute, I offer my personal gratitude to the Bharati Vidya Bhavan and my warm felicitations to the office bearers and members of the Bhavan who have over the years sincerely taken forward the institution towards its vision, blending all the spiritual and intellectual streams of India and the world. Inspired by the Rig Veda, let noble thoughts come from every side. The Bharati Vidya Bhavan has reached both the elite and the poor, keeping alive for over 83 years the torch lit by Sri Munshiji. We look forward to the continued strengthening of the Bharati Vidya Bhavan institutions all over the world as it continues the journey of Vidya, of spreading Vidya and Indian culture. Thank you.
I would request our governor to honor Sri Deepak Garwalkar, the director of the current director of South Zone Cultural Center. He's the director of Central Zone Cultural Committee, to be to the stage and receive the honor.
To me, this event and this inauguration of the December Music Festival at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is a continuity of the great tradition that Chennai is so proud of. Before this city, the concept of a sabha for the promotion of the arts did not exist. Sabha, as we know, is a very historic term. It goes back by several centuries. Sabha was essentially an administrative body that took care of various problems and necessities of a village or a city. It was only in the 17th century, when Madras or Chennai became a colonial city, that for the first time there was a settlement where there was no king, there was no chieftain, and the rulers had no idea about local culture. It was therefore left to the people in this particular city to come together and foster the arts. And that is how the Sabha as a cultural organization was born. It was in 1887 that we find that the first Sabha of this city was created, the Madras Jubilee Gayan Samaj, the Jubilee being the golden jubilee of Queen Victoria's reign. And today, just as we have a governor here to inaugurate this festival, that event too had the governor of Madras inaugurating it, Lord Connemara, so many years ago. And that was the first organization that brought together people in order to promote arts and culture. Ever since then, we have had a very long tradition of sabhas in this particular city. When we look back at the history of the sabhas, we find that it is a very hard and really a thankless job to run an organization like this. It is entirely dependent on public bounty, particularly in the earlier days of the rulers and then later of the businessmen and patrons. And therefore, it is very much a celebration of the city's generosity for the promotion of its culture, that voluntarily so many people have come forward over so many years in order to keep the concept of sabhas going and the promotion of the arts. Particularly post-1947, when the role of the kings and the chieftains vanished, where did the city look for its promotion of its culture? It then depended on the industrialists, and that is when we had the personality of Sri S. Anantharamakrishnan coming forward to donate this particular property. But I would just like to take you back to this particular property before it became the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. What was it before this auditorium was constructed? It was a house. It was a house called Srinivas. And it was the house of K.S. Jayarama Iyer, a very well-known lawyer of the High Court of Madras, practicing on the criminal side. His wife, Alamelu, was a very significant personality in the field of the classical arts. Alamelu was at the same time the vice president of the Music Academy and the Indian Fine Arts Society, and was also a founder of the Tamil Isai Sangam. She therefore covered all the three organizations that really came to define what we today call as the December Music Festival. Most importantly, Alamelu was also the first woman to run a sabha in this city. The Muttayalpet Venkatesha Bhakta Sabha, founded in 1935, which lasted just for 5 years or so. But this remarkable woman hit upon a formula that we have continued till date without giving her the credit for it, which was that senior artists' concerts would be ticketed, and the money collected from that would go to fund the performances of junior artists who would perform free for the audiences. It therefore killed two birds with one stone. The money was coming in through the senior concerts. The junior artists were performing free, so the audiences came to listen. When they came to listen, these artists became senior, and then the ticketed concert. And that cycle has continued unbroken. Let us not forget that woman who resided in this property and came up with that great idea. Alamelu was born in 1893, passed away in 1966. And then, of course, as we all know, this property even by then had been sold, and then it has now become the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Her granddaughter once told me that it was her grandmother's dearest wish that this place should always resound with music. That vision has come true.
Our founder, Kulapati Munshi, was a member of the Constituent Assembly, and he was responsible to write a major person involved in writing our Constitution. And it is only right on my part also to give 2 volumes of book written by Munshiji to our Honorable Governor today on the privilege of our Indian Constitution. I'm thankful to all the artists who have agreed to perform this year. I'm also for the media and all of those who have been coming in large numbers for our festival. Very unfortunately today we could not get that number of people because of the bad inclement weather. We should be having the concert by Rajesh Vaidya and Ramesh. Thank you all once again. Thank you.